Story title: A Few Seconds from Death. Author name: Crossing the Rubicon. Not 100% sure if this belongs here, so apologies in advance. My fiancé does this weird thing that he calls déjà vu, because it's the only way he can explain it. A few years ago, we were driving back from work after a night shift. We used to work together. That's how we met. The road was pretty quiet, as usual, for that time of the morning. We drove past a tiny bright yellow car with a really tall man driving it, and it just made me laugh a little because it was unusual. At this moment, he went into full panic mode and made a sound as if he struggled to get his breath. He shouted and said "Deja vu," and before I could ask him what the hell he was on about, he told me to wait at the upcoming junction longer than usual. I pulled up to the junction and saw nothing at all. He said, "No, just wait. There's a car coming." I couldn't see or hear anything. I thought he was just going mad. I went to pull off, and at that exact moment, a car came flying over the bridge, doing at least 80 miles per hour in what was a 30-mile-per-hour zone. If I'd pulled out of that junction like normal, the car would have hit us. I asked him to explain what the hell that was, and he told me he sometimes sees things that happen a few seconds before they do, hence the name, déjà vu. This was the first time I'd experienced him do this, but he's done it several other times throughout our relationship. It's always just as something horrendously horrible is about to happen. Is this a glitch? How does he know these things are going to happen? Personal thoughts. It sounds like your fiancé somehow experienced the crash itself beforehand, almost as if it was a Next-style forward premonition. And what I'm referencing there is the movie Next with Nicolas Cage. I remember vividly. I don't know if people liked it, but I did. I watched quite a few times as a teenager. It certainly had its moments. But what's most interesting here is you've said that he's been able to do this again. He has this ability that if something bad is going to happen, he knows about it and can tell you, and then avoid it. So it's like predicting a possible future, not the future. Because there isn't just one future. It all depends on the choices we make. Every single action creating a new possible tree or branch of possible future realities, and all of those spawning more and more and more in an exponential curve that leads to so many possibilities that no one could actually comprehend it. But yeah, it seems like for brief periods of time, just seconds ahead, he's able to predict what's going to happen, or at least a likely scenario, and then he's able to avoid it. That's truly amazing. Do any of you know anyone who has this ability as well, or something like it? Being able to see the future even a couple seconds ahead? If so, let me know in the comments. Second story. Story title: I dropped a screw and it simply was erased from existence. Author name: Budget Buds. I was watching a radio TTS video on YouTube about glitches in the Matrix, and I remembered one situation that happened last year. Although mild, it bugs me ever since. I was in my bedroom fixing my closet, and I let a screw fall. I just watched it fall because in one hand I was holding a screwdriver, and the other I was holding all the screws that I'd taken out so far, which was where the said screw had fallen from. Anyways, as I watch it hit the ground between my feet, it bounces off the floor, hits the closet, and as soon as it hits the floor again, it just vanished. I didn't blink, I didn't look away, nothing. I stayed like 30 seconds just staring and trying to process what just happened. Again, I followed that screw with my eyes the moment it left my hand, until it transported itself to another dimension? Naturally, I start looking for it, and after 5 minutes looking under everything near me, my girlfriend, this is how I know I'm not crazy, asks me what's going on, and I explain what happened. Of course she laughs, but starts looking for it also. We look everywhere, even moved all the furniture in the room around, looking under, in, and the sides of everything in the room. It was just nowhere to be seen ever again. Before writing this, I asked her if she ever found it since then, cleaning the room or something. But nope, and neither have I. I once read a theory here on Reddit about how, theoretically, in a gazillion chances, the atoms of an object can miss the atoms of another object, and essentially pass through it. Seriously, it's the only explanation for me. So yeah, I just wrote a 4-paragraph story on how I lost a screw. Don't read too much into it. Personal thoughts. So wherever that screw is, many missing keys and socks will find too. Jokes aside though, I've actually had something very similar happen to me before. It was just with a tennis ball. I was playing catch with a friend, we were teenagers. Back and forth for, at least half an hour. Eventually, the ball is tossed to me and I fumble it. It drops on the grass and it barely bounces up, like maybe half an inch or something. And then it was just gone. The tiniest of bounces and then it was gone. My mind can't even process it. When I try to remember back, it's almost like the tennis ball wasn't real and something just playing with my mind, like it's a false memory. I don't know how to explain it. I get this creepy, unsettling feeling whenever I'm trying to remember it happening. It's like I'm not supposed to. I don't know if it's a glitch in the Matrix, if it's some kind of twisting of my own memory, but I know that it is incredibly unsettling. And I imagine the same feeling is felt, even if it is just a screw that vanished. Have you ever experienced a vanishing object like this? Or anything along these lines? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, like it up.